Hey guys, Joe Gonzalez back again with another video, and in today's video we are going over how to wholesale pre-foreclosures. This video will serve you guys as a step-by-step guide so you know exactly what to expect and how to navigate through the entire process. So sit back, relax, all of this and much more coming right up. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the difference between a foreclosure and a pre-foreclosure. A lot of times these two words get used interchangeably by people that don't really understand real estate, and they've heard that some great deals are available when someone's foreclosing. A foreclosure is when someone has already lost their house. The house is already gone. It's either owned by the bank, also known as an REO, or it's been auctioned off to the highest bidder at the auction. So how does it all happen? First, you have a homeowner that just stops paying the mortgage. After about 90 days, they get what's called an NOD, a notice of default. This is when the mortgage company hires an attorney and then they make it public record that they are foreclosing on the property. At this point in time, since it's public record, this is how all these list providers learn about it. This is how everybody learns that these people are foreclosing. So you guys are trying to find deals that are in pre-foreclosure. So not foreclosure, pre-foreclosure. This is where you can get some amazing deals and still help the homeowner save their credit, their dignity, not get kicked out of their house. So this is what we're gonna be focusing on today. So the first thing you want to do is you want to obtain a list of the homeowners that are foreclosing the following month. You're able to acquire this list directly from the courthouse. You just go to your local courthouse, ask for that list. Sometimes, depending on your county, they can be very difficult to work with, or they might just have that available for you. In some counties, you're able to pull this information online directly from the courthouse. My favorite way is to simply ask the title company for that list. Now, they want to keep business going with you guys, so they're going to go ahead and provide you with that list in order for them to get business whenever you get them under contract. So the title company is a great resource to get this information. Now, if you don't get any luck doing it that way, what you want to do is simply go to a list provider, a website such as PropStream and ListSource, and you're able to get that information there. So guys, it's really inexpensive. Whether you pay for it or not, getting the list is probably the easiest part. That's the way you do that. So once you obtain a list, now it's time to choose a marketing channel. There's direct mail, there's cold calling, you can do SMS, you can door knock. There's plenty of different ways to reach out to the homeowners. However, there's nothing that's gonna beat calling the homeowner directly. Think of it like this, guys. They are being sent direct mail from the mortgage company, from realtors, from other investors, from debt collection agencies. If they're foreclosing, chances are they're probably behind on other payments as well. People become numb to direct mail. They want nothing to do with it. So what I do is I get them on the phone as soon as possible. That way I have their undivided attention and I'm able to get a deal going. The first thing that people are taught whenever they're becoming real estate investors is go after pre-foreclosures. Someone going through a pre-foreclosure is just being bombarded from all sides. Once you get them on the phone, your job is to stand out. You literally have 4 seconds to let the homeowner know that you're someone who's trustworthy, you're a leader in your industry, and you're also sympathetic. 4 seconds. What is gonna make you sound different from everybody else who has been calling, sending mail, door knocking? You have to sound the part. It's critical for you guys to have the right tone whenever the homeowner answers the phone. The approach is very important. A question I get asked a lot is, do I want to reach out to them? Just asking them if they wanna sell their house, like I don't know anything about the pre-foreclosure, or do I let them know that I'm fully aware of what's going on? And I always go with that option. As soon as I get a homeowner on the phone, I let them know that I'm fully aware of the situation going on with their property, and I'm able to bring a solution so they can avoid foreclosure. I have tried both ways, and the sympathetic approach is 10 times better. Keep in mind, someone who's foreclosing is going through the hardest time of their life. You have to approach them the right way. Don't be too aggressive, be sympathetic, use the right tonality, and that's how you even have a chance to be able to get that deal. Keep in mind that not everybody who is foreclosing is gonna wanna sell their house. This is a very common mistake that I see in new investors. Just because someone is going through this process does not mean they are automatically motivated. You can't expect someone to sell you their house simply because they're going through foreclosure. You're not owed anything, by the way. If they choose to foreclose, that is their right. As crazy as that sounds, if they choose to foreclose, that is their right. You only want to deal with someone who understands that the bank is taking their house, but they're willing to sell. If not, you're gonna be trying to convince a lot of people that could care less about foreclosing. Remember, just like any other wholesale deal, you're working with people who actually are motivated to sell. Once you locate a homeowner who is ready, willing, and able to sell, you want to now obtain the payoff. The payoff can be obtained in different ways. The first way, and my go-to, is to ask them for the last statement that was sent to them by the bank. If they don't have this, you get them on the phone with the bank and ask them for that information. If for some reason that doesn't work either, then the title company will provide that information once you have this deal under contract. Remember, you need this property to have equity. If the property doesn't have equity, you can't really wholesale it like a traditional deal. You would have to do something called a subject to. I'll make a video on that later, but for the most part, you want to make sure that there is equity in the home. All right, so you find out that the property does have equity. What happens next? Now you're making an offer. You want to make sure that you find a win-win scenario for both parties, for yourself and for the homeowner. This is something that is ethically correct, and at the same time, it's gonna benefit you. You wanna make sure that you find a way for them to walk away with some money. Why does it benefit you? Because you can't let the homeowner stay in the property. If they aren't paying the bank, what makes you think they're gonna go ahead and pay your end buyer? Remember, you're building a deal. So if you build an unattractive deal that comes with someone who is known not to pay, the chances of you assigning that are now a lot lower. You want to make sure this house comes empty. You can only do that if the homeowner has enough funds to restart their life. So again, that is ethically correct. And at the same time, it does benefit you and your end buyer. And also, you want to make sure that the closing date is before the auction date, because once that auction date hits, it's over. The house no longer belongs to that homeowner, and you can't assign it anymore. So make sure that the closing date is before the auction date. Understand that wholesaling a pre-foreclosure is completely different from any ordinary wholesale deal. Once you have this deal under contract, you are literally in a race against time, because you do have a deadline, and that deadline is the auction. You can't treat this just like any wholesale deal where you have a closing date, but you can always extend. No, because here there are no extensions. Once you have the foreclosure date, it's over. Now, this is critical because this is going to allow you guys to educate the homeowner and explain to them how this works. Remember, buying a house takes time. You need to make sure you get the title commitment back, that you find a buyer. So you need enough time to do that. A lot of homeowners are going to try to procrastinate because they've been procrastinating this whole time, but it's your job as a real estate professional to educate them and let them know, hey, look, we won't have enough time to close if you wait a few more days. Just understand that it is a race against time. Hey guys, I'm gonna end it on this note. It's your job as a real estate professional to be educated on this process and not play with people's livelihoods. You never want to get a property under contract that you have no strategy on how you're gonna help this homeowner. You want to make sure that if you lock up a deal, you already know that you're gonna be able to assign that deal. Because what happens if you can't assign it? This person could have filed bankruptcy, they could have sold it to somebody else. They're gonna foreclose if you don't know what you're doing. Make sure you take notes of everything we went over. If you have to restart this video and take notes, do that, because it is critical that you're able to assist homeowners who need your help. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post videos like this every single week. I wanna make sure you guys keep growing your minds and understand the entire real estate investment process. And that's it, guys. Until next time, stay focused, stay hungry.